song to keep in your back pocket. Thank you very much, Claire. Well, now I have the distinct pleasure of being able to introduce our guest speaker today, who is also the one that did that wonderful meditation for us. I think that was very good. I am willing to introduce Reverend Pam Reynolds.
Thank you, and I'm willing to be introduced. I love the picture that was sent out in the email of In the Hallway. I'm sorry I don't have doors on each side that I could have used because I would have. Negotiate. Depending on Reverend Sharon for your spiritual inspiration and support, then it would be time to pray about how you're going to support yourself, how you're going to connect to your own Christ spirit and support yourself. You know, if Reverend Sharon and all of the guest speakers who have been here, if we've done our job, then we've been empowering you to go within to your own Christ nature, for your support, for your direction. Now, it is important to acknowledge the pain and discomfort in the hallway. That's important. One gentleman who acknowledged the pain loud and clear is in the Old Testament, and that's Job. You may remember that he lost his family. They all died. He lost his wealth, and he lost his health. And this man did not suffer in silence. He's rattling those doors. He's shaking his fist at God. Do you ever do that? Shake your fist at God? Even though you know there's no anthropomorphic God out there to respond to that. And this is what Job said. I loathe my life I will give free utterance to my complaint. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say to God, do not condemn me. Let me know why you contend against me. Why is this happening, and why is it happening to me, and why is it happening now? I didn't want to get fired from that job. I didn't want that person to die. I didn't want that change to happen. Why is it happening? Well, in the hallway is a time of preparation. We wait until we are ready to accept the gift of what's next. Mary Pickford, yes, the movie star Mary Pickford said, you may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Don't get too comfortable in the hallway. Remember the story in the Gospel of Mark about the woman with the issue of blood? It's truly one of my favorite stories. She had an issue of blood for 12 years, and remember at the time, the fact that she had this feminine issue of blood meant she was unclean. She was not supposed to be out in public, and certainly not near any of the men. But for 12 years, she'd been trying everything she knew to do, probably gone to every healer, probably gone to some wise woman, probably maybe even gone to some places she shouldn't have, to find a healing, to find a solution. But then she finally decided that if she could just touch the holy man's hem of his garment, they believed the hem of the garment, the tassels, had special power. She said, if I can just touch even the hem of his garment, I will be healed. I love that story because it reminds me if I just have the faith, and if I'm just willing to touch the Christ consciousness, if I just go into meditation and just get into that Christ consciousness, that whatever it is that I'm worried about will be healed. Now, you know, it took her 12 years, and 12 is spiritual completion. So she was sick for as long as she needed to be sick until she was ready for her healing. I wonder what happened to her after. The healing got her out of the hallway. We don't know what happened next. Did she adjust to life healed? How was that for her? When she'd been in the hallway 12 years, not allowed to go out, not allowed to be with men, desperate for a cure, and now suddenly she has the cure, the healing. We step out of the hallway, a time of healing, and then we need to be ready to move on. Take that healing and move on. Mary Manning Morrissey said in The Field of Dreams, it's in that space between the death of one dream and the dawning of the next that you face your most divine challenge. She got to decide, who am I going to be now? How do I show up in my world now? Change is the only way God has to make things better. Ooh, I don't like that one. I mean, I have to change. I have to give up some things in order to have something better. You know, the hallway isn't always painful. Sometimes it's just really, really boring. You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. Now, Eric Butterworth says, these pauses in life are not delays. Very often, they're a time of preparation. We wait in the hallway until we're ready to accept our gift. The hallway is a place for creative inspiration. Do we really think God is going to leave us in the hallway? Is that our expectation? Is that God said, oh, well, you're safe, you're okay, goodbye? Of course not. Because God's in you anyway. We're not helpless in the hallway. It could be that the universe is waiting for us to take a step. Would you go to a restaurant and tell the waiter, oh, bring whatever you want? I'm afraid they'd bring me what was sort of left over. Oh, we need to get rid of this. Give it to her. Do you all know Reverend Catherine Ponder, our Unity Prosperity teacher? Have you read her books, studied her books? Okay. So you know that Unity, she is known as our prosperity teacher. Well, we're going to go back to a time before that happened for her. In one of her books I read where she said, someone has said that ministers try to resign every Saturday night while they're slaving away over their Sunday talks. One such Saturday night, she said, after an exhausting week, she was in full sympathy with that statement. She put on her head on her desk and said, Dear God, is this all there is? Constant deadlines, constant work, constant fatigue, no time or money for anything. Well, she was in her own hallway, feeling frustrated, not knowing where to turn. Suddenly, in an inner flash, she saw a stack of books thrown together, one on top of another in a casual way. That was all, no explanation. A stack of books. Somehow she felt it didn't mean reading books. It referred to writing books. And she says, what kind of answer is that? You know, it's like, no, God, I don't want that door. Let's renegotiate this. And a strange thing happened on her way to not writing a book. In 1958, there was a recession that hit Birmingham, Alabama very hard. Her congregants asked her to teach a class on prosperity. It was from those classes that she wrote her first book. But as they say, the rest is history. When you're in the hallway, be open to new ideas. And be willing to say, yes. See, God's will for us is what we already desire. We have a desire in our heart. God isn't going to say to us, I want you to do something that you have no talent for, no experience for, no ability, and you will hate every minute. Because that's coming from within us. That's our own Christ self that's saying, move on, move on. There's something more to give. There's something more to know about yourself. As we declare our desires and move toward them, we surrender the outcome. Did you catch that? You express your desire, you move toward it, and then you surrender the outcome. Anybody uncomfortable with that step? Yeah. No, but God, can we make sure you really understand what I want? And I have the whole agenda here for you, and the how to do it. Yeah. We got to leave some room for God to maneuver. Because you know what? God might have a better idea. You may know the Grace Prayer by Reverend Deandra Price. She was at school when I was there, and that prayer became very meaningful to me, and I share these words from the prayer. You're saying to God, reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed. In other words, let me know. Reveal it to me. And sometimes the revelation we need is how we're getting in our own way. How we're stopping a process because we're not willing to step forward in trust. In Revelation we read, look, I have set before you an open door which no one has been able to shut. No one can shut it. It's your door. It's there. In 1903, Mrs. Annie Johnson of Arkansas found herself with two young sons, very little money, could hardly read, write, or compute, and she was a Negro, she was black. 1903. Her husband left to study religion with another minister, but what he didn't tell her is that minister had an unmarried daughter. Oops. So basically, he left her in the family, and she didn't see that she had any resources. And in those days, black women, primarily, they could go into domestic service and go clean somebody else's house and raise somebody else's kids. And she said, I don't want to do that. I don't want someone else raising my children because I have to leave them with somebody else to babysit. I want to take care of my own kids. Now, she knew she couldn't work in the town's lumber mill or cotton gin because she wasn't a man and didn't have the strength. But in the hallway, she thought that maybe she could get those two factories to work for herself. So she didn't tell anybody what she was doing. It's all secret. But early one evening, to see if she was ready, she placed stones in 2 5-gallon pails and carried them 3 miles to the cotton gin. Then went on another 5 miles to the lumber mill. That night, she worked into the night, through the night, boiling chicken, frying ham. She made dough and pastry and filled the pastries with the chicken and the ham. The next morning, she left her house carrying the meat pies, an iron brazier, and coals for a fire. Just before lunch, she stopped in an empty lot behind the cotton gin. We figured out what she's doing. Smart lady. See, in the hallway is a place of divine ideas and inspiration. At noon, she dropped those pastries into the boiling fat, and the aroma floated toward the workers who had brought something to lunch from home that didn't smell nearly as good as what she had. On Monday, she went to cotton gin, and Tuesday, she went to the lumber mill. She did that for several years. Then when she felt the workers were dependent on her for a tasty, fresh lunch, she built a stall between the two locations. Over the years, the stall became a store, selling cookies, canned goods, fresh fruit. What looked like a dead end in that hallway became a business venture that supported herself and her children. She did not stay stuck in that hallway. I'm in the hallway. Congratulations. Because that opens us to new possibilities. One of our youth ministers, Mary Cupperly, has some very wise words for us. She reminds us that God is in this experience. You're not alone in the hallway. You're not ever alone. God is in the experience. She says, first, take the upper hand. Declare that God is here. Second, consistently turn everything to good. Affirm only good can come, for God is in this experience. And third, trust God's plan for you. Place yourself under God's protective love. God's plan is good. I trust it. God is in full control of this experience. Not partial control, full control. Congratulations. We're in the hallway. You guys remember Superman? Oh yeah. Boy, they keep just making more and more and more movies. Dr. Larry Morris says, we are all Clark Kent looking for a phone booth. We want our transformation to be quick, painless, and complete. We want to shoot up to the stars as long as we don't have to leave home. I want that transformation, but I don't want to change. I've given you you a copy of this. That's the teacher in me. Did a lot of years of classroom teaching, handouts, homework, no, not homework. The homework is always take what you hear on Sunday and go do it. Martha Smock wrote, "No other way," is in her book, Fear Not.
It's in your book. They don't know it's in your book.
It's in your bulletin. Could we but see the pattern of our days, we should discern how devious were the ways by which we came to this, the present time, this place in life, and we should see the climb our soul has made up through the years. We should forget the hurts, the wanderings, the fears, the wastelands of our lives, and know that we would come no other way, or grow into our good without these steps our feet found hard to take, our faith found hard to meet. The road of life winds on, and we like travelers go from turn to turn until we come to know the truth that life is endless and that we forever are inhabitants of all eternity. Every step we've taken is exactly what we needed to get here. Even those ones that you felt were failures, or stupid, or weren't your best efforts. Everything in our life has brought us to this point, and equips us to take the next step. So if you're sitting here looking back and going, all my regrets, no, those are all the ways you've learned and grown into more of who you are. So we take all of that knowing, all of that experience, to take our next steps. So from one day to the next, 1 hour to the next, 1 minute to the next, we take step by step. This moment right now is what we have, and we take it, and it's precious, and we move forward. And we move with change and not against it. Because in this moment, right now, as we're in a hallway, we get to decide where we want to go. Now is when we birth tomorrow. God bless.